on, and it's just sitting there in rot and waste. And it's incompetent. I think it just demonstrates that when we're watching these cabinet, I don't know what to call them anymore, these series of cabinet meetings that are being produced on TV or the tweets, these are people that think that they're governing, and they actually just don't know the inner workings of how the government operates. And so they're not responding to, they're not actually doing their work. They're not doing their job. We're not seeing any actual bureaucratic processes take place as normal. And that is why it's problematic to get these quote unquote disruptors in, when if you can't pass an American citizenship test, probably shouldn't be working in the White House.
Right, background check. Let me add to that too. The distribution, at least I was reading, was about the fact that they cut so much U.S. aid that there was no way to actually have the manpower to distribute any of this. So, which is why they had to throw it out, and maybe they didn't even have the budget left to do that because it was all cuts. And here's the thing: this is what they're doing. We're seeing this in so many levels, where they come in, they don't analyze what's going on the ground and what things need to be, addressed. They just actually cut. They cut, they remove, they ignore anything that the previous administration has done. They will get rid of, or they will just not do it, or cease it immediately. And so we're seeing this happen in many fronts. One is this USA ID and the food that they're throwing out. Another, in my opinion, is the horrific flooding that was going on in Texas, that is still going on in Texas, where they don't have the response. They don't have the team in place. There are cuts that were made through emergency services. Then let's not forget about the fact that the government there, the local government, the state government, hates, regulations and hates democratic president aid to the states that could have been helpful in a warning system. This is the fact that, FEMA wasn't even ready or up to the job for this. And this is all because the previous Democratic administrations, the new one comes in, they don't believe in anything, any of the government programs, everything should be banned. And so therefore, the people end up suffering because their policy is not to actually govern, it's to get rid of all the other things and maybe govern on a shoestring. Well, that doesn't work, and particularly in a transition. But this is not new to the Trump administration. You could argue back to 9/11 when Bush took office 8 months before 9/11 happened, he scrapped a lot of security warnings that Clinton did because it was a Clinton thing, and they ignored a lot of the things and intelligence briefings that were going on for Bin Laden and 9/11 disaster. They threw that out the window, and then look what happened. Absolute travesty. So this is consistent with when Republicans take over. They see what the previous administration is doing. They scrap everything, and they want to start anew because, my God, Democrats are so bad. We can't even listen to anything that they have built up or done or warned us about, and we have to go our own way just to show them. And look what's happening. The people are suffering. That's what's happening. The end result is that the people suffer. It is inhumane, and this is consistent with what their party does.
Yeah, thanks, Scotty. This is a disaster, an ongoing disaster, and I'm seeing it here in West Africa firsthand. The problems that it's causing, and it certainly is not making our reputation. It's damaging our reputation. And at the end of the day, the idea of signing a contract in the United States is completely pointless because it doesn't mean anything. Treaties mean nothing for the United States. I think the rest of the world does, but the rest of the world understands that you can't trust the United States anymore. That they lie and they cheat. They have, for at least for the time that we have Donald Trump, it's the land of cheaters and liars, and that's the way it's perceived. Anyway, speaking of